All
I just
right.
heard you mumble.
All right.
Oh, you hear me?
I can hear you, Cat.
Okay, that's what it do.
Let
My
me
bad.
set you up, my brother. Let me set you up, kid.
Yeah, yeah.
All the listeners out there, man, I got the opportunity. Me, SANGRIA. I got Sonny the Sun Goddess in the building.
Hey, hey,
And
hey.
we got the opportunity to sit down with an incredibly gifted artist. Goes by the name of Born Divide. And we going to sit down with BZ for a little while, man. We going to rock with the God for a little while, y'all. You know what I'm saying? He going to let you know what it is. He been doing this for quite a while. So we gonna chime in with my brother, and he gonna let us know all the things that you didn't know before. So, Born, man, how the industry treating you, my brother?
Peace, peace. I appreciate that. Word. Can y'all hear me good and clear though?
We can hear you
Yes.
loud and clear, Cat.
Okay. Please, first and foremost, I want to say happy holy day of atonement and the 28th anniversary of the Million Man March. You know what I mean? To all my people, to all the brothers and sisters out there, today is a very special day for me, you know, and for all of us really. It's a day in our history that is the equivalent of when Dr. King spoke on the mall. You know what I'm saying? So I want to give thanks to the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. I want to give thanks to the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. I want to give a special thanks to Minister Carlos Muhammad, you know, who was directly influencing me in Baltimore City. I also want to give a thanks to the great Cappuccino Capadonna of the Wu-Tang Clan.
All
You
right.
know, for this is the same time frame that we met, was during the anniversary of the Million Man March. I also want to thank Queen Yonazdaha from the Lakota tribe, who's Capadonna's former wife. But you know, I want to thank her because she also was a bridge between me and Capadonna meeting, which led to me being a part of the legendary and iconic Wu-Tang family. So I want to send my appreciations, my peace and love to our people for on this day.
All right. That's what I'm talking about.
I
Peace and
told you
love,
I had to
King.
go. I told you I had to go
Word.
today, baby. We get ready to motherfucking set some things off, man. Explain some things to y'all in case y'all was a little confused. You know what I
So
mean?
born, and I love your name too, Born Divine. Just I like that divine part at the end of it. And well, just let's get it started. Let everybody know where it is that you're originally from, and what made you decide to go into music and do the things that you're doing now.
Well, as most of everybody who has had the honor of rocking with me over the years, I'm from Baltimore, Maryland, born and raised, um, 40 plus,
Okay,
you know. So I'm a veteran,
and in deep,
Yeah.
you
OG.
know, veteran, definitely. Musically, I've been involved with music my entire life. Came up in a musical family, you know, but ultimately, professionally getting into music was with the one Capadonna of the Wu-Tang Clan, the 10th General. So that's my professional journey that I've been on for the past 19 years under the almighty W.
Okay.
Yeah. So in the beginning, baby, what was when did you get bit by the bug, man, when you first picked up the mic? I mean, everything had to start and be inspired by something or somebody.
Right.
You tell us,
Absolutely.
man, what it was for you.
When I was younger, you know, your parents take you to church, you sing in church, you on the choir, you know, back when I was very, very young. And then my uncle Jay, by the name of Sir, he went by the name of Sir Ram, and my uncle Melvin went by the name of Mr. Music. So they had
Okay.
a band, you know, so they had drums and all of that stuff in the basement. And then my uncle came home with turntables because he was DJing parties like mid 80s, probably like 82, 83, somewhere around there, actually, early 80s. So I heard my first hip hop record. Uh, I'm the king of rock. There is none higher. You know, Run DMC came in, and then I was like,
Doing
whoa,
rap, huh?
you know, and started out breakdancing for real,
Okay.
and then one day I had the opportunity. We were at a block party, and they gave me the microphone, but I was just supposed to be holding the microphone. They're playing a break beat.
Now, how old were you at this time?
I was about 9,
Okay.
and I just start freestyling,
Okay.
and I just was doing my own thing, and it was just for fun. I just did it for fun for a long time, but I didn't take it seriously until I was a young man, about 19. I got incarcerated, and while I was incarcerated, I used to battle for commissary because I wasn't getting no money on my books,
Mm.
you know. So I would come off the head, people were writing their rhymes, and I was just using whatever was in the atmosphere and dismantling, rappers at that time just because I needed commissary, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Necessity is the mother of invention.
so you skipped over something. I mean, I'm gonna not let you skip over something. I've known
Okay.
you for a long time, son.
Absolutely.
Hey man, well, man, you never explained that whole breakdancing thing to me, man. You know what I mean? You never let me know, man, that it all started, man, with you on the cardboard out in the street, baby. You know what I mean? What's got the hood thing? Was
Man,
that
my mother used to take me to the little school. Uh, we had the rec centers back then. They
Mm.
shut out rec centers down at a certain time.
Yeah.
right?
Year and amount of years, but they used to have these little jams,
Mm-hmm.
and my mother used to dress me in suit and a bow tie like a FOI. That's why I always looked up to the FOI because moms
Yeah,
used to put me in the little bow tie, and I see them selling the papers and the pies, and I was always intrigued. So I go to the little jams and used to wear the hole out, put a hole in the daggone pants, and then moms had to sew the patch on because I was spinning on my knee, spinning
yeah.
on my shoulders, and just breakdancing, man. So that was young age too, but East Baltimore was really live with hip hop back then,
Yeah, yeah,
So
I think dancing was more that was really more in back in the day, like the break dance and stuff. Cause my
right,
dad used to dance and he used to do like skates and stuff all on skates at,
mhm.
Skate King, different stuff like that. So yeah.
Word, definitely, definitely, yeah. That was then even during them days of Scoob and Scrap Lover, when Big Daddy Kane was getting it in the head, we used to all through those time frames. We had our own little dance groups. We'd go to the little nightclubs, Hammer Jacks, the Paradox, go down there and dance battle, and But that was exercise. That was like getting that energy, that frustrational energy out. So that we not in the streets doing all the wrong things with that energy. So
right.
hip hop really was our therapy growing up,
Yeah.
No question.
you know.
So you began, obviously you just told a story, man, about when you was freestyling and all that. But I know coming up through the environment that you had to come up in, obviously. Uh, did you start out as a solo artist? Was you part of any groups?
Actually, we had a little rap group back in the day called Third Power. It was me, my boy Brian Grant, and my man Antoine, my big brother for real,
Yeah,
since the sandbox. And they really inspired me to rap back then. But like I said, I really wasn't like I did it for fun, couple school talent shows, but it wasn't my thing.
right.
I was always in the street doing other things, running around,
Yeah.
and everybody else was rapping. So they were writing, but I never really wrote a rhyme. Like I didn't write a rhyme like on paper that was real until I was 19.
Mm.
Okay. And so
Everything was just
when you were, I want to take it back a little bit when you were talking about, the incarceration and different things like that. Did the music help you stay focused in there? Was that more of your like go to just keep writing in there? And is that what kind of kept you out of trouble in there in prison, or was that your like focus for you?
Well, it helped keep me out of trouble, but like I said, I was just doing it because I needed commissary and I needed things, and I didn't get any money on my books at that time. So what happened was I had a cellie he was about 30. He
Mm-hmm.
was about 30 years old. This is when they moved me from the county system to the state system. So
Okay.
I was up Hagerstown, and he was an artist, like a graphic artist. He was really from Boston,
Mm.
and
Okay.
he was drawing portraits. He was making his money through portraits. He the one who gave me the focus to say, yo, you can rap. Why not hustle up your commissary? This is my hustle. And he showed me how he's doing portraits. But he also was designing his own clothing line,
Hmm.
his own building. He was going to the library, getting business books and building a business plan. He had grant programs where they would give felons grants and things like different stuff like that, and how he was going to start his business to never have to come back to prison. So he said, by him being older than me like that, it was kind of a inspiration, and I looked up to him kind of in his mindset. So
Mm-hmm.
he said to me, he said, man, I think you got the skills to make it if you take it serious. And I was like, what you talking about? So he showed me his book, which he never showed anybody his book. He showed me his book and what he was doing. And he said, what's the difference between a drug dealer and a hustler? And I was like, man, same thing. He's like, nah, a drug dealer don't take much to hand a fiend a pill because they already want it. They physically addicted to it. He said, but a real hustler can sell anything. So if you're a hustler like you in here for, then you should be able to take your skills and you should be able to hustle your way out of the hood and never have to come back. And he was like, look at Jay, look at Master P. He was pulling up examples and really dropping knowledge on me. And his clothing line, big shout out to Slick One, you know what I mean? His clothing line was called New Boston, NU Boston. So I don't know if he ever got it off the ground, but he had them aspirations. And from that point, I began to take it more serious, and I started reading books like um, Guide to Releasing Your Own Independent Records, All You Need to Know About the Music Business by Donald S. Passman. That was actually my first book, that Donald S. Passman book, my first actual business book about the music industry. So I started learning the business and writing and doing the artistry side.
So what you just said was very important because in the days back in the day, let me just say, because I don't want to age myself, but we all know there was a time where we would have the older gentlemen, the OGs, you know what I'm saying,
Right.
actually teach us up and coming cats, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So we think we're smartest in the world, we think we slick at everything that we do, you know what I mean, whatever the case is, but they never give us the value of what a book would do for us. You know what I mean?
Mm.
And
Right.
I need you to kind of elaborate on that a little bit, man, because we gonna talk a little bit, baby, because you know what I'm saying, there's a lot of different things that we want to discuss with you about some of the things that's going on in life along with in the
Mm-hmm.
industry. You know what I mean? So talk a
Absolutely.
little bit about that book education from them OGs, man, telling you to pick it up, man, and pay attention.
Man, the type of books that brothers used to give to me, and this is a good book that I gave to a young brother when I came home. It's called From Niggas to Gods by Akil,
Mm.
because the book talks directly to the psychology
Right.
of our youth. You know what I mean? And I think that more books need to be wrote in that perspective,
Mm-hmm.
like a conversation, a real conversation with self, so that we can accept our rights, our wrongs, our good, our bad, our ugly. And a lot of the OGs that I learned from, that's how they came at me. They didn't come at me like they was preaching.
Right.
They might come at me like, yo, check this book out.
Right.
And just from the title of the book alone, and the picture on the front of the book, I'm looking like, what's that? Because they had that old school statement: if you don't want a nigga to know something, put it in a book.
Mhm.
And I think that's technology has made us so lazy we got audio books, we got apps that read the book to us. It's like, but the mind becomes more strong when you got to take that book and decipher that book with your own brain. Your brain is a computer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
so a lot of OGs put me on the books. Even me and Cap, we used to trade books off.
Yeah.
He got a good book, I got a good book. We swap them out, read them, give them back, even DVDs, good documentaries and things like that. So it's very important that anybody that call themselves an OG, if you got young people that look up to you, don't teach them destruction or how to destroy themselves. You got to teach them how to rebirth themselves in a
Yeah.
new light and to grow from where they at. You
Yes.
know,
Yeah. Yeah. So I just needed you to touch on that because this getting ready to get a whole lot deeper than what a lot of folks even know and understand. You know what I'm
word to
saying?
God.
I got the guard with me today. My man born on, you know what I'm saying? And we're gonna explain some things to y'all out here. You know what I mean? About the whole bamboozlement of the whole industry and all that. But we're gonna get to all that. You know what I
Word,
mean?
word.
Just tell us a little bit, man, about how it was when you met Capadon. You know what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
no,
Mm,
first of all, I want you to tell us about how you develop your style because one leads
mm.
to the other. You
Right.
dig what I'm
No.
saying? So
my style, my style is a mix up. My
yeah,
style is like my style is like water. It don't
Mm-hmm.
matter what the container is. I get in where I fit in.
It just
So
flows, huh?
that's it. You
Just
know,
flows.
I develop my style by studying all of the great MCs, Cal Rest Ones, Rakim, definitely Wu Tang, Onyx, Nas, Big J,
Up to the
Pop.
OGs,
You
because I mean,
know,
the OGs don't get enough credit out here, really. You know what
they
I'm saying?
really don't. I
They just
mean,
don't.
my whole entire style is a collage of all of them mashed into one
Mm-hmm.
right.
because I don't allow myself to get trapped in one little sector of this is how I'm supposed to rap. You know,
Mm-hmm.
we artists. If you give me a blank canvas, it's a beat, and it's just it could be a continuous loop. It could have breakdowns, change ups, or whatever. I'm creating art in my mind. I'm
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
not just gonna rap one way every time you hear me, and no picture is gonna be the same. And just because my attribute and my name is Born Divine, don't mean that I'm gonna just be dropping Supreme Math and Supreme Alphabet all the time. And you know what I mean? Because life is a duality. So sometimes I
Mm-hmm.
might be talking about a negative topic because it's needed.
Yeah.
I might
Mm-hmm.
be talking
No
about,
doubt.
any topic. I might be talking about relationships. I might be talking about women. I might even use the terms, the BITC. You know what I'm saying? I might even use these terms, but I'm teaching at the end of the day. I'm bringing you some information from a different perspective, not to be, vulgar, not to be offensive, but it's art. And,
Right.
Right.
and sometimes that's where my style is developed. I let the beat talk to me and I talk back to it.
No question. So one another thing, Sonny, I'm gonna let you hop in here in a second, so you know what I'm saying?
I'm listening. I'm just,
Yeah,
come
yeah,
on.
yeah. I want you to talk about, man, how having knowledge yourself enhanced a lot of the different things and the decisions that you've made in life. You know what I mean? Because a
Right.
lot of time that gets lost, you know what I'm saying? Because a
Yeah.
lot of people never had an opportunity to sit down and read the book of life, you dig? But I'm gonna let you tell a story, man, because we
Right,
talking
right,
about
right.
these today, baby.
So the knowledge itself, man, is it helps you as a person realize who you are in every aspect, 360 degrees. You know what I mean? We deal with reality.
Right.
Simple as that. Like I can't take you up in space if you don't even comprehend that your feet is on earth first. You know what I'm saying? Like you standing on solid ground first, before I take you up to the sun, moon, and stars. So the knowledge itself help you become conscious, self-conscious, and conscious of the things that's going on around you and how you must move in
Yes.
these different ciphers.
and navigating through life.
That
Absolutely.
part. Yeah,
Because you got to realize on this earth, this is Earth University, and we're all here learning experiences.
absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I want
Absolutely.
to ask you too, where did you get the name? Like, where did you come up with the name Born Divine?
Well, my original attribute is really conscious, born divine, God Allah. That's my original attribute. So so we removed conscious and just kept born divine when I came into the music on the
Okay.
professional side. And that name was given to me by Janaya Allah. You know what I'm saying? Jihad Allah, actually, Janaya Jihad Allah. But my man, he put me on to the knowledge of self back when I was incarcerated. He was one of the brothers that I used to come out and build with because we had the same kind of mentality of we not we're not trying to come back.
Right.
We trying to get it right, get our stuff together and get uptown and build. And God rest his spirit, you know what I mean? For his transition, he went back to the essence. And he was a good dude, man. He was a very good dude. And we actually linked up when we got out too. Me, him, and a couple other brothers that we was down with. And we did some things, man. You know, we put some real life action to what we was professing, you know.
Yeah.
Some of us are still around, some are not. But, you know, we still here pushing in the name of everything that we was aiming for. So that's where the name came from. Born Divine was based off of me completing my lessons, my 120.
I love it.
Yeah, no doubt. Let's get the cap, baby. With the music, with the crack, you know what I mean? And, everybody dreams.
Yeah.
Everybody dreams of
Cap.
being with somebody in the Wu family, you dig?
Yeah.
Right.
You accomplished that, man. You know what I mean? So,
Yo, to be honest, so me and Cap never hooked up based off of music.
okay.
So
Okay.
we met at the mosque through brother Kareem Allah.
Okay.
So me and Kareem Allah, we used to go out, soldier, sell papers, pies, and whatnot, and then build, you know. So one day, I think it was election time when Bush was actually running for president, Bush Jr.
Okay.
And it was election time, and I wasn't on the corner that day. I had something else going on, and Capadonna came through, and he met him and gave him a paper and pies, and they got the building, and then he was like, who should I vote for? And Kareem said, I mean, you got Satan and you got the devil. Take your pick.
Right.
So after that, they was linking up, building, and Cap was trying to learn how to make salat in Arabic.
Okay.
And Kareem was like, I don't know how to do that. You gotta get with the God Born Divine. You gotta get with Born Divine. So he kept telling Cap about me. And then they came to the mosque for the Million Man March anniversary. So I was outside the mosque when Cap came out. Kareem was like, this is the brother I was telling you about. So we traded information. And from that point, we would link up probably every day or every other day for about a good 2 months. All we was doing was I would come through, we would make salat, build on the Quran, build on the Bible, just building. And then afterwards, we might go to the Chinese spot across the street, you know, get some broccoli and fried rice and just chop it up about life. I used to ask him about the music and what was going on with Wu-Tang and stuff. So, and then right around that same time, God rest his soul, ODB went back to the Essence too. So his birthday was the yesterday. Or no, it's coming up in November. The day that he passed was October 13th. So God rest the God Ason Unique. But so we was building, and then one day he invited me to the studio. He wanted me to just do an intro, like Minister Farrakhan at the beginning or something like that. Like just he wanted me to come on and do that. So they, you know how they do the sound check where they checking your voice and your levels?
Right.
Yes.
Right.
So they playing the beat and they like say something so we could get your levels right. So I start rapping.
Of course.
He's like, yo, that's freestyle? I was like, yeah. He's like, you got something written you can spit? I said, yeah, I got a little something in the stash, you know.
Yeah.
Hit
Yeah.
record. We was at Star Spangle's house. Star
Mm.
Spangle hit record, and I went in. And
Mm-hmm.
then from that day, it just became a roller coaster. We 19 years up now.
Oh
Yeah. No question,
man.
baby. Yeah. No doubt. So from moving from
Beautiful.
that point on, man, like, of course, you've learned a lot of things. You in the game. Coming from Baltimore, you're gonna know some things that a lot of us don't know anyway. You know what I mean? How did the music industry, or how did you be able to navigate your way through the music industry at that time? What's some of the things that you learned that you needed to do and that you had to do in order to continue on pushing your music and your message?
Oh man. The number one thing is you got to learn how to sacrifice.
Mm.
It's a and whoever you with, like if you have a significant other, wife, husband, children, they have to learn about that sacrifice at the same time. Because like the hardest thing to do is have to leave my children for months at a time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm an active father, very active, you
Okay.
know, and making them sacrifices is what helped me get to the way I'm at now and through the industry, because that also is your why.
Right.
The people you gotta leave at home when you on tour is your why. Why am I doing this? Every day you got to wake up when you feeling tired, when you feeling beat down, when you don't have inspiration to write, you got to think about your why every single day, every moment. Why am I doing this? Because I want to open up a way and give my children a better platform than I had, a better opportunity. Or I want to give my family, I want to give back to the foundation that made me who I am today. Because this is what music really is. We talking about who we are, what we've been through, what makes us who we are. When you pick up an album, it's personable. You want
Mm-hmm.
to know the person that you listening to. I know people like J. Cole, very, very fluent with how he does it. People like Kendrick Lamar, very, very talented and gifted with how they convey their thoughts and bringing people into their world of who they are. And so it's hard for a lot of people to share their essence like that, but that's what it is, you know, giving the world a piece of yourself, because that's what immortalizes you. That's what leaves your time capsule here in this day and age that we live in now. So being focused and maneuvering through the industry, a lot of it was coaching too. Coaching. I had a good coach. You know, people have different viewpoints of Capadonna, but Capadonna was a great coach. Period. Simple as that. And you got to look at the greats. Kobe had a coach, but he was great.
But he was
Jordan had a coach. He was
Mm-hmm.
great.
right.
Shaq is great.
Right.
Coaches.
Right.
So good coaching and having somebody and being able to be coachable.
Yeah.
You know
And
what
a
I'm
lot
saying?
of times, a lot of cats don't know that. So that was big what you just said. A lot of cats aren't coachable. They
Yeah.
always believe that they know more than the next person. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And
Right.
they make that's a bad assumption. You know what I'm saying? Because
Terrible.
that puts you in a place to where you're not learning because you're not listening. And if you're not
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
listening, you can't, you know what I'm saying? You can't motivate to the next level because you're not paying attention.
That part.
Always,
Sometimes you got
always.
to shut up sometimes and be like, and
Yep.
take it. It might
Yep.
hurt. You got to take it though. Like, all right,
Sometimes,
that's me. You know what I'm saying? That's
yeah,
me. I messed up.
yeah,
Yes. And just being able to, like you said, being able to listen, and that comes a long way. I like to hang out too with people that are smarter than me. I like to learn, and so definitely,
Yeah,
definitely.
you think about it. Me and Cap have just about a 10-year age gap.
right.
10 years more life means a lot. Person been through 10 years more of this industry and life than you have. You don't have no place to really say nothing because you ain't seen it or been there yet. You haven't experienced it yet.
And you know that gets missed. I swear to God, it gets missed because you know I'm out here every day. I be trying to explain things to certain people, and they kind of look at me like I'm their equal. You know what I mean? And I'm like, you have no clue, man. I got 10, 15 years on top of whatever you know. So whatever you know, I probably already have thought about that about 400 times, more times than you've even thought about thinking about it.
Right.
You might have created it. You might have created it.
And being able to have those A1 day ones, you know what I'm saying, that you can actually take with you and you can learn from each other, or that person can learn from you, and they'll be able to experience that. So when they go off and do certain things, they'll be like, oh, okay, I witnessed this and I experienced this, you know. And sometimes when people tell you things and say things to you, they saying it out of love because they experienced it and they don't want you to go through maybe some of those trials that they've been through, you know, and different things. So,
hey man, tell us about the music, baby. You know, after you and Cap got it going, I'm sure at some time, you know what I mean, you went your separate ways. But I know, I'm not sure, correct me if I'm wrong, Woo South, wasn't you part of Woo South at one point?
I was around for Woo South. So Woo South started with DJ J Saki, Capadonna, and Ratchet Rush. And it mainly was a project that Cap was doing. And then I came in like right around that time when they had just started. And me and Cap started the Better Life movement in the midst of Woo South. So it was two movements right in Baltimore simultaneously going on. So the Better Life movement was the beginning of, it was my first project. And at the same time, it was a street project because they had a clothing store, and me and brother Kareem Allah and William X and brother Chuck Muhammad, we had a clothing store as well. So we used to do stuff, man. Like we had 12 young guys from the neighborhood that we used to get them and employ them. We say, yo, take these flyers, go up the street, put these flyers out. When you come back, we go to the pizza shop next door, buy a couple pizzas, the pizza's out, and we would sit and have manhood training conversations.
Yeah.
You know, find out where their head is and steer them towards the business, having a business, being a business owner instead of being just a street hustler. You know, because it's a lot of influence and a lot of peer pressure in the streets to go and hustle the wrong things. And it's like, yo, you don't got to do that. You know, and we were showing them by having the material possessions to say you don't have to do that.
Right. Yeah. Did you ever get a chance to meet Minister Farrakhan?
I never got a chance to meet him personally, direct, but Cap has met him.
Okay.
While in that time, because you know he got married to Mr. Farrakhan's adopted granddaughter, Queen Yonazdaha. At that time, they had got married and things, and I was around during that whole time frame. And then I did do security for the minister when he came to Baltimore a few times.
Nice.
And I did security in DC and in Chicago one time for him.
Okay.
So it's been a wonderful experience, man. That's the best I can say. It's been a wonderful journey.
So you've been in the game for a while, you know, and a lot of times, you know, I don't kind of let people know about build different things. But you've done you got a lot of accolades on a lot of different things you've done, man. You've done a lot of music. You've been in a lot of awards, a lot of magazines. I mean, talk about some of those different things, man, that you've had the opportunity, because it's always a time to get your flowers, man. We don't want to get born as flowers and born ain't with us no more. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A lot of people after you gone and shit, they want to talk about, oh, he was in this or he was in that, la 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 la, whatever, man. I'm cool. Let's get a God his flowers, man, while he's right here with us. You know what I'm saying?
Appreciate that, man, because I got a single coming out called Roses.
Okay.
And that's exactly what I'm talking about. Give me my roses while I'm here. Don't wait till I'm gone and then try to throw. Oh, he was and throw the rose on it. Nah, come on, mine's now.
Let me
You
get mine
know.
there. You know what I
So
mean?
no, I mean,
Yeah.
judging by, I mean, just looking at the journey of number one, going to prison at 19, coming out, doing 5 years parole and probation while paying child support. You know what I'm saying? Because that's like triple. You know what I'm saying? Walking that walk, getting in the game with Capadonna, not just as an artist. I wasn't just signed as an artist. I came in as his business partner and hype man. So I've been an executive the whole time. Executive partner, hype man. Then got signed to Protect Your Neck as an artist. Yeah. Then became the vice president, the executive vice president of Protect Your Neck Records. You know, so those movements alone is similar to Jay-Z being the head of Def Jam, going from an artist that they refused in the beginning.
Yes, sir.
So I created the Indie Boom platform. I did the Indie Boom Explosion Tour from coast to coast, 15 cities, 19 shows, 3 years in a row, all independent artists, all independent finances, sponsors, no handouts the whole time. My deal with PYN was a 50-50 digital. I secured a production deal with the Crates out of Germany for the Black Diamonds album, independent advance. I secured a business deal for Indie Boom, independent advance, built it from scratch. I got Best Hip Hop Soul Video Award from Academia 1 year, in 2015, and then in 2016 I got a Best Hip Hop Soul Song for Cops Get Away with Murder, featuring China Doll. As far as my city, I'm the first one to ever launch an independent distribution and artist development platform nationally. Yeah. I've put on the most artists and producers from the city. I had the most legendary features with hip hop legends, R&B legends like Neo, Yo Gotti, Flo Rida. I mean, I've done music with very reputable people in the industry, and I got the most legendary features out of Baltimore City, out of anybody.
Yes, sir.
And still working.
Still working.
Hey,
so I just want to say all that because I couldn't remember all that. You know what I'm saying? Like I've been around the guard a minute. You know what I mean? I remember Protect Your Neck and Indie Boom, but he got so much going on that's all the time that I can't keep up with it. I gotta let him tell his story, man. Because listen, only he know what he's doing when he's doing his thing. You dig?
So music. Do you have music? You've done music, all of that good stuff. What about have you done any acting? Are you films? Do you have any films, documentaries?
As a matter of fact, my first film that I was in was called The Wu-Tang Saga. That was in
okay.
That was released by Capadonna and Jeremy Mack. That was before they came with the series.
Okay.
So we did the Wu-Tang Saga movie first, but I was just performing. It was clips of me being on stage with him, and that's on streaming platforms. Y'all could go check that out. And then after that, I was on the Zane and Juliet show out here in Nevada. Few years back on CW Network.
Okay.
Just being interviewed with that. And then I did my own podcast, Voice of the Street show, that was aired on Roku and Universe TV channel 72. Me and Euthanasia, the Asian Persuasion, So we did that. And then I also did a cameo in Rick Hard's 7th and Westlake, the Re-Rock. Okay. So I appeared in that. And right now I'm studying a script called Bounce Back, which will be shot in Atlanta. Shout out to Jay Gathers. I'm studying a role for that film right now. I got a script. Okay. So I'm working.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm still working.
Yeah. So I just want to let y'all know. So whenever y'all was listening to Media Made and y'all was hearing Voice of the Streets, y'all looking at the creator right now. Born
Word.
Divine is who actually was the
Word.
voice of the streets.
Right. And you know how that started? That started from doing Woo Wednesdays live. When I first got to Nevada, I was doing Woo Wednesdays live on Weed TV. And then, you know, some things was going down. I guess they were trying to consolidate some things with the brand. So I had to fall back from doing the Woo Wednesdays. And so I created Voice of the Streets and took it from an idea to an actual television podcast. So everything I've done has been independent, and I got it all out the mud. Like really, nobody gave me anything. I had to earn that.
Yeah, no question. The state of the industry. I just want you. I mean, I know that it's vast now. You know, it's not the way that we may be used to or we may like it.
Right.
But I need your take on the state of the music industry in general and in the industry itself, broadening it on from music to the different things that can be done with it. So I need your perspective.
My perspective is the industry is about more independence today than it's ever been. Everybody has an opportunity to create, build their own fan base, and make their own dreams come true. The only thing is the powers that be, the higher up, the labels, they know that. They see that. So they give you the platform because it's just another platform for them to control where the money flows.
Yes.
So when you look at Spotify, everybody's on Spotify, but Universal owns 40% of Spotify. So if they own 40% of that, plus the major artist catalogs that they have and the younger catalogs where they're giving them a 360, which means that they got their hand in their pocket no matter what they do, then who's getting all of the money?
Right.
Universal. So,
and you know what? Scarface spoke on it. He said some things about Spotify and iTunes, and you know, just not really being able to, you know, get money off of those and monetize off of those.
What they did was they,
you know what I mean, your existence.
Yeah.
Yeah. They expanded their reach of their market share. Because think about this. They could sign 10 of the hottest artists in the world and give them budgets and make money, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they could get the little pennies, nickels, and dimes from all of the artists that ain't really going nowhere, but they're keeping them under their wing and on their platform. So now they could pick talent as they choose, and they can hold back talent as they choose because they control the algorithm.
Right.
So all of that's done all through technology. And now you got AI, and AI is coming in and dismantling and picking it apart even more, all the way down to the frequency.
Yeah.
And the streaming part of it. So cats don't even recognize that they put their music up on these different platforms for it to be streamed, but they never see a check. They never see no money. Because they don't even know what they got into when they gave up their music and they gave up their rights to their music.
Oh man,
it's a new form of piracy. That's how I feel about the industry right now. They've created a new wave of piracy. We're gonna take your music and suppress your messages and your freedom of speech and anything else that we want to suppress at our leisure.
Right.
And like you said, the hustling part of it, do you think it's more better and sufficient, like you saying, being able to get yourself out there and hard work working for yourself, but being able to bring your music back to yourself, like on your website, have people purchase music from your website or have people purchase music from certain things from you? And do you think, I mean, with the benefit of that, like what would you know?
It just depends on what your market share already is, if you can even do that. Because I got people that's trying to get more out of their music by drawing people to their own independent site, but that's far and few between as far as making any significant revenue. You have to do what you see Nas and the Clan doing. You got to have a New York State of Mind tour that goes overseas, hits these large pockets of people, and then come back over here and hits large pockets of people. So you got to be on the move all day, all the time, and you gotta be penetrating the market and having people in front of you. See, I'm gonna tell you what people don't understand about the dynamics, right? And this is from a business point.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm a salesman, how many people I come in contact with on a regular is the equivalent of how many times they play a mainstream artist on the radio. So if I'm doing open mics or shows, may pay a little, may pay a lot, may pay nothing every week. Let's say I'm doing a show every night of the week. Then I'm getting at a different venue though. Then I'm getting different groups of people every night, and therefore my fan base is growing, and it is the equivalent of being on the radio 4 or 5 times a day.
Absolutely.
Then when I have a show, people are going to show up. But I got to do that in every region. And it takes time, and it takes money, and it takes energy. And you got to really put in work.
Yeah, you're right.
And you have to hit a lot of different platforms. You have to kind of always be continuously moving yourself onto different other platforms. So there's a lot of people that won't even rock with you because they feel like your numbers ain't big enough. You know what I mean? Which is ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? Because all you need is one person to hear you to tell another person and the next person. You know what I'm saying? So it grows organically without you even having to touch it sometimes. But a lot of artists is blind to these facts.
Yeah.
When they choose not to be part of what you're doing, then you let them stay asleep over there because it just makes it a little easier for us that do understand what's going on. You know what I mean?
Indeed.
And then when people trying to invest in themselves too, I want to ask you a question too. For those that's out there, because I know a lot of people always talk about this too. What do you think about the pay for play? Like when certain people are out there asking other artists to perform and having them pay a whole large amount to being able to perform, but then they don't really see anything back from it.
Well, I think that it depends on what the venue and what the draw is going to be. And I always look at the hustle from the street perspective of anytime you jump out there on a new venture, whether it's a business venture, a street venture, a music venture, whatever it is, that first time out, you may take a loss. Most times you're going to take a loss before you make some money, and it takes money to make money. So I normally look at how big is the demographic going to be if I pay this money? How many people am I going to be in front of first before I go about it? Now, when I was doing my tours, what I would do is if you pay for your slot, you get X amount of tickets, and then now you go hustle and you double your money. So it became advantageous if you got fans, or if you know how to sell. If you know how to sell, then you can create new fans.
And see, that's the thing too. Some people, when they get these tickets and you give them back to be able to give their money back from these tickets, some people don't have they don't sell their tickets. So it's more like they don't have anybody to. And then that's when they kind of get mad and be like, "Oh, well, I didn't make anything." Well, you have tickets. We gave you tickets to sell for yourself. Where's your crowd?
Right. If you don't know how to science it up and sell tickets, then you need to go and take a sales course. Now you could go to school and take the sales course.
Yeah.
Or you could get paid to take the sales course by going working for a sales company and being a commission rep to where as though if you don't kill nothing, you don't eat.
Yeah.
That's how I learned. I used to work for ADT Home Security before music, and I did door-to-door sales. So it's like, all right. And then in the Nation of Islam, bean pies and papers, you touching brand new faces and brand new mentalities all day, every day, just trying to get someone to read the paper or to try one of the most delicious pies on the planet, that's good for you at the same time. So it's a process of knowing how to engage and how to take a no. Every no leads to a yes. You got to take it as motivation and be able to get back on it. And I did that on my tours, the Indie Boom Explosion tour. I taught artists how to sell their CD because every city we would hit the mall or we would every gas station we stopped at. All right, everybody out. We on sales missions. Run down on them at the pump. Catch them inside the joint. Just pitch them. The worst they could say is no.
Right.
That's it. You know, I mean, there's things they could say worse, but if you approach properly and politely, you may get. And I've had people approach somebody and say, I'm trying to support myself and make my own dream happen. So I'm out here selling my CDs instead of doing the wrong things. Can you give a donation or purchase a CD? And a person say, I don't even want the CD. I like your approach, young man, and give him a 20 when he was only asking for $5.
Mm-hmm.
And then I've seen people give somebody 100 when they was only asking for $5. And then they turn around and made more money than the CDs they had.
Right.
And like you said, you have to put in the work, though. It's yourself. You have to be able to put yourself out there because it's just not going to show up in front of you if you don't do anything.
Nah, if you can't sell yourself, the next person can't sell you neither.
I mean,
I'm saying, I want you to speak about the importance, man, of of being Black and being able to provide, being an independent artist, an independent businessman, because you're not just an artist.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? About creating the narrative and not letting someone else tell our story. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I want you to speak on that because you're living proof.
Yeah. This world that we live in is a world where propaganda controls the narrative, and the propaganda through media has dictated and painted the picture of you and everybody else of our culture the way they want people to see it. Right. So you got people on the other side of the world that might look at us like we all thugs and gangsters and robbers and thieves because that's what they teaching them over there and indoctrinating them with, and vice versa. We get indoctrinated with these images that we supposed to be gangster in order to be successful, or we supposed to be thugging in order to be great. And that's not a fact. You got to control the narrative and be who you was created to be, or who you see yourself as. A clear picture drawn up in one's own mind so that you can see things clearly for what they are, not what they appear to be. You got to be that. And because your children going to have to live with whatever you left behind. They're going to have to live with whatever stigma, whatever tarnishment, you know. Even in the church, it says, let this mind be in you also as it is in Christ, right? What does that mean? That means that there's a rebirth for your mind first. This is the first revolution. So you got to dictate that narrative and give people who you really are. And that's what that album got to be about too. Personable.
Yeah.
Talk about the realness, you know what I mean?
I told y'all I wasn't playing with y'all today when I brought the guard on. You know what I mean? Because listen, man, me and Cat rock back a long time. And so, we do this for one another. You know what I mean? Not just because he is who he is and he does the things that he does, but he has something to say. And I got something to share with the world because he has something to say.
Word.
Hey man, let's talk about what you got coming up, what you're doing. I know you got some new stuff happening. You got a new album. You just got nominated for something else, and you always get nominated for something else. And I want you to tell everybody all the shit that you're doing right now, man, and how they can reach you, man, and get to you, baby.
Man, www.indieboom.com, INDIEBOOM.com. I've centralized everything. You can go there, and you can go through the different tabs, and you can hit that contact page to get in contact with me any given time, 24 hours a day. Shop is open 7 days a week. You can get music, you can get clothing. You know what I'm saying? I got all kinds of clothing out. Be on the lookout for me in the movie Bounce Back by Jay Gathers out of ATL. We're going to be 20 weeks recording the ATL in 2024. So I'll be out there. Um, the new project, Wrath of the Titans, hosted by DJ Flipside from the Wu-Tang DJ Coalition. I dropped it, and shout out to hiphopgoldenage.com. They gave me an honorable mention as being one of the best hip hop albums to come out for 2023. You know, and it's featuring heavy hitters, my OG Capadonna. We got Solomon Childs, Prodigal Son on there, Chi King on there, Dungeon Master, Menace OB Easy, Ant Live. We got Bishop Lamont on there. We got Roscoe from DPG on there. That's Corrupt's little brother. Shout out to DPG. Heavy hitters on the whole entire project. We got Infamous Mob on there too. Shout out to the Mob Deep, and all of that. So that project is out. I just dropped 2 new singles. The one single is Backstabbers. Y'all know the science. You know what I'm saying? And then and then we dropped the other one is called No Pressure, No Diamonds. Shout out to DJ Payne One. He produced both of those tracks. Me and my man Els, shout out to Els, man. That's my boy right there from Harlem World in the buildery. Me and him just dropped Dollar in a Dream featuring Rick Ross, aka Rose, MMG. Shout out to MMG. And we just dropped that Dollar in a Dream. That's out right now on all streaming platforms. We got some singles coming up soon too. One with KRS-One. We doing that, and some more stuff on the menu. I got Better Place dropping soon. Dedication to my mother, God rest her soul, and my man Blackie Brown, God rest his soul. And then I got Roses dropping. Give me my roses while I'm here. That's coming soon.
Okay.
Single, you feel me? And what's coming up is the relaunch of Wu-Tang Radio is coming up here in the near future. Voice of the Street show will be on the network, and every Thursday I am on the network. Rap Station 365, powered by the legendary Chuck D of Public Enemy. And I'm returning to Media Made Radio, so stay tuned and stay locked, because I'm coming back, baby.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
Okay,
saying? So,
okay. And social media, where can they follow you?
Social media, BORNDIVINE, The God on IG, or you could just hit me up, BORNDIVINE, everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Follow your boy, hit me up, but mainly go to indieboom.com and hit that contact list, man, and hit me right in the inbox on the Gmail, Indie Boom Music Group at gmail.com with your MP3s for the radio show. If you're an independent artist and you're trying to get some radio play, you know what I'm saying? We pay royalties. So get your stuff registered properly. If you don't know how, my consulting services is $49.99. Holla at your boy. Word up.
Come on, listeners, boy. Y'all heard it first right here, boy. I'm saying we're born the vibe, you know what I'm saying? And if you missed any of that when he told you where to go, you can always reach out to Media Made, baby.
Shout out to Media Made Magazine for always holding me down, always keeping it a buck. You know what I mean? Shout out to Sam, always keeping me in the loop. And also shout out to the Hype Magazine and All Access Vegas, because, you know, they also been holding me down. Just Jay from the Hype, she been holding me down for 20 years. All Access Vegas. Be on the lookout for us too at Kushstock and the Las Vegas Cannabis Awards. We coming back on scene.
Right, he out here, y'all. He out here.
Listen, he outside. I'm just saying.
Born Divine is out here.
Pull the bronze up, baby. You see him moving around. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. Hey, man, let me just say this, boy, man. It was beautiful, baby, that you came out, rock with us again. We can't wait to get Voice of the Streets back on Media Made Radio. You know what I'm saying? You can always reach us at MediaMadeMagazine.com, MediaMadeMusic.com, MediaMadeTV.com.
Media Made everything. Make sure you follow us on social media.
We're absolutely black owned, baby. You know what I mean? We make sure, man, we secure the future for those coming up behind us, baby. All day, every day.
And make sure you guys follow me on social media at S Mills Media. Follow Media Made Magazine on Instagram, Media Made Music and Media Made Magazine on Facebook. And then you have Media Made Music on X. All right?
No question. Hey, boy, let me just say this, man, before we go, man. May you be blessed in all the things that you do every day, and may you prosper in each and everything that you do, each and every day that you do it, my brother. You heard?
You too, my brother and my sister. I appreciate y'all. Yo, make sure y'all support independent black media, man. Word up.
No doubt, baby. Peace.
Peace.